go. It's your birthday.
Although I don't count them because that means you get older. So yes, it is. But as Peter Pan, I am not getting older. So that's it.
Good morning, sir.
Well, then happy non-birthday.
Yes.
Thank you. No, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Good morning to you guys both. It's your last. You guys are off for 2 weeks.
Yes.
Friday.
Christmas week and New Year's week. We lucked out because they were both in the middle of the weeks.
Yep, but we're going to have some great best ofs, and
Yes.
some of them featuring you, Dean Obadala.
Really?
Yes.
Very exciting.
Yes.
I'm glad I made the best of. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And I'll listen to it.
All right.
I won't be writing. I'll just be chilling out. I have nothing to do without you guys on.
Right.
My life becomes vacant.
Well.
I have to watch Fox News.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, just to get mad. Because
Yeah.
Dean, as a Muslim, you wrote
Allegedly. Right. I'm sorry.
I always do the Fox News pronunciation
I
for
like
you.
to do I want to be called pork-free American from now on. Politically correct term, because Muslim is inherently negative now. It's like the new N-word is the M-word, we call it.
Yes.
I want to be called pork-free American.
All right. So listen,
Muslims, we call each other Muslim.
as a pork-free American, you had an interesting perspective on this. You wrote a piece called "Why the Muslim World is Flipping Out Over the CIA Torture Report." You say, sure, they torture people in the Middle East, but we need to be better than that. In fact, we need to prosecute those who tortured prisoners. But you made a lot of great points. Mike Rogers, among others, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, rang alarm bells. Our own intelligence committee assessed this will cause violence and deaths, the release of this report, right? You say, perhaps the intelligence about those predicted protests was gathered using enhanced interrogation techniques, which explains why the information was wrong.
Yep. Well, what you got at, though, actually, I was on a few other interviews, and what you said was the right, what the article is really about. Like, we have to be better than this. Because a couple other people interviewed me about this, and they kept going through, so the Muslim world does terrible things, too. I'm like, no, that's not my point.
Stephinaie Miller.
The next person who wishes me a Merry Christmas is going to get decked along with the halls.
It is the Stephinaie Miller Show. Welcome to it. Fred, checking for food on your side.
I don't have food yet.
Okay, all right. 34 minutes after the hour, 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number, toll-free from anywhere.
No.
Goodbye,
No.
Fred.
No.
Yes.
Move.
Yes, good boy. George in Miami. We have really horrible parenting styles.
Go.
Hi, George in Miami.
Obama.
Viva Obama.
Viva Obama.
Yes.
Yeah.
Viva Obama. The problem with Rubio and him and Ileana Ross is that they've been using Cuba as a wedge for all these years, and Obama yesterday took away their toy.
Yeah, exactly right. Exactly right.
They are being very selfish. The people in Cuba are suffering. The embargo only hurt the people.
Yep.
It didn't hurt Castro because everybody else been doing business with Castro.
Yep.
We're the last one left. So Viva Obama. That's what I have to say.
All right. Thank you. And I agree. Ditto that.
Yes.
Viva Obama. President Obama spoke Wednesday on U.S. relations with Cuba, hours after American Alan Gross was released from a Cuban prison. Viva Obama, where he'd been for 5 years. He was accompanied by our friend, Representative Chris Van Hollen.
Yes.
Jeff Flake, as you said, Republican of Arizona, who said he supports the president on this. The Cuban government had detained Gross for setting up satellite internet access across as a subcontractor for the U.S. Agency for International Development and charged him with violating the country's territorial integrity. Neither the American nor the Cuban people are well served by a rigid policy that took place before most of us were born.
Yeah.
President Obama said yesterday, describing this as a new chapter. We talked about the Pope personally issued a letter to Castro and Obama urging them to resolve the Gross case. The letter came after the president's meeting with the Pope. A senior administration called it very rare to receive such a direct appeal, so rare he wasn't sure if it had ever happened before. The president thanked the Pope yesterday along with the Canadian government and members of U.S. Congress who worked to free Gross. But once again, there are no magical bipartisan American moments in America anymore. There's not like, oh, good job, Mr. President. Nicely done. We got to find American home with his family for Christmas. Viva Obama. Oh, no, I guess not. That's not what they said. No, we have a sputtery Marco Rubio instead. Here he is.
I want
Marco.
the Cuban people to have freedom and democracy, and then they can choose any economic model they want. Nothing that's happening here will further that cause.
Okay. All right. Wah. Jebby. Wah. Jebby's running now. I can't. Okay. Do we have another
Yes.
one? Yes. All right.
This president and this administration have let the people of Cuba down.
Oh, yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. That's why so many are saying Viva Obama.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim in Chicago, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hello, Tim.
Good morning, Stephanie.
Morning.
You know, I'm looking at this cybersecurity, and I keep hearing how, especially on the media outlets, how talented these hackers are, and how, where they are, and so on and so forth. Do we not have any talented people here who can defend us against these hackers? I mean,
Yeah, it is scary, isn't it?
Online, it is. I mean, our banking is all online. I mean,
Well-
it's now becoming like commonplace where it's like, oh, no big deal. Target just got, hacked, and all our credit card information is out there. No big deal. They'll just offer us, fraud protection in the next 6 months. And that's just like commonplace now.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
aren't these huge companies protecting us?
Because they're saving money by not putting in the most stringent protections.
Well, then the next question is, if they're not, what is our government doing? I mean, you look at our power plants. Some of our power plants are privately owned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what is causing them not for hacking a nuclear plant?
Exactly.
Or a coal plant or a natural gas plant? What about our water supply? Why aren't we demanding this? It's like even people in the media keep saying they're talented people. We have talented people in this country. Let's get them employed and let's do something about this.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, and it's not just right. And it's not just. I mean, you raised a great issue, Chris. Is that they can take away their own people's freedoms. I mean, not that we abhor that.
Yeah.
But you're right. They took away our First Amendment freedoms.
Exactly.
And we let them. I mean, Sony's like, oh, okay, uncle. Yeah. I mean, and I'm not. I get it. The threats of obviously people being nervous about threats of terrorism. But I mean, that's just.
Here's what I think. I think that the FBI may have found some kind of credible threat somewhere.
Yeah.
And they told Sony, you need to do this. I don't think Sony would have done this otherwise because they're getting a hell of a lot of free publicity out of this.
Yeah.
I think something very serious was found that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, Mediaite saying, who you said posted Kim Jong-un's fake death scene.
Death scene, yeah.
I mean, it is hilarious.
It's set to the
Mediaite
tune
saying,
of Firework by Katy Perry.
They're saying, this is all the international crisis is all because of a movie starring Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yeah.
The trailer features Rob Lowe taking off his hair and a joke about Nicki Minaj's ass, for God's sakes. This is the movie. So anyway, I love this. A human rights group is planning to airdrop the DVDs into North Korea. Which, and they said, which is true, parody, this is why we get in so much trouble. Parody and satire is powerful. Ideas are what's going to win in North Korea. Ideas will bring down that regime, and that's why they're so scared of it. But that's just hilarious. They're going to use balloons to airdrop copies of the interview.
They're big. I saw pictures of the balloons this morning on TV, and they're big, long balloons that look like condoms.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll teach them. Okay, let's go to John in Minneapolis.
Maybe they are dropping condoms. Who can say?
John in Minneapolis. Hi, John.
Hi, thank you so much for taking my call. I just wanted to say I had to laugh this morning when I heard Marco Rubio talk about the human rights violations that occurred in Cuba when just, last week or 2 weeks ago, I can't remember exactly when, it kind of all runs together, but we were revealing torture as one of our, something that we can actually do, and we're not going to, really do very much about it, but it did happen, and what do they call that? That's a human rights violation. And yes, Cuba was guilty of doing far more, but then...
Right, we allowed other torturers to look at us and say, tisk, tisk.
Totalitarian regime.
Yeah.
And so I think, hey, what can I say?
Yeah, yeah, no, exactly. That's the, most egregious part of it is, you have all these other... torturers able to go, oh, this is horrible. Look at what you Americans, Okay. Oh, by the way, I texted with Mei Lee, noted whore and journalist. She's having a
she's having a time. Yes,
she's like, oh my God, Steph, this Sony story. It was her first
because
day
it's
on
her
the job.
beat. Because Sony is based here in Los Angeles. Sony Pictures Entertainment.
It was her first day, and I said, you are a disaster magnet in a good way. Anytime she starts a new job, there's a huge news story.
Oh, God.
Jennifer in London, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Viva Obama, too.
Viva Obama.
Yeah, Viva.
I'm the official Irish-Cuban-American expat living in London, and I'm still sort of shocked and floored that this just happened to me. My partner told me over at lunchtime in our time, which is 5 hours ahead, that, Cuba and the U.S. are having a meeting. I was like, yeah, so what? Nothing's going to happen. Because I'm 43 years old, and it's always been this way.
Yeah.
So I got home from a dinner party last night, and it was about midnight my time, and my sister's texting me, oh my God, the embargo has been lifted.
Wow.
Not totally. It hasn't been totally lifted. It has to be lifted by Congress, but I saw that, my family members on Facebook, it's where some of us are thrilled because we finally get to visit, but others are, the ones who are older and who lived through leaving Cuba in the 60s, they're not as thrilled. And that's the thing is I want to say that 53% of the Cuban population in Miami, or just in the U.S., do not support the embargo. So not every single Cuban is a right-wing crazy person, and I'm tired of the media.
Right. Well, it's especially the younger generation that doesn't support the embargo.
Yeah, and this is, by the way, someone mentioned this, Jen, but, this is part of the, demographic, electoral, death spiral that the Republican Party is in. As Chris was saying, this was one of the few, right-wing Cubans, that's our one minority group that still votes for us. And you're right, on marriage equality, exactly what Chris just said, in the younger generations. I'm just reading, Cubans in Miami offer mixed reactions, and it's generational. You're absolutely right.
But, at the same time, I also want to sort of say, for the right-wing Cubans, I understand their emotions because they lived through something that we didn't. They lost their homes, their businesses, they lost their country. It's a very emotional issue for them, and it's something that most people don't understand. And I don't want to demonize them and say, oh, your feelings don't count. They count. But at the same time, we've had an embargo for 50 years. It hasn't worked. It's time to try something new.
That's right. The president said that, by the way. He said, let me say, I respect your passion and share your commitment to liberty and democracy, knowing this is emotional for, some people. He said the question is how we uphold that commitment. I do not believe we can keep doing the same thing for over 5 decades and expect a different result. Moreover, it does not serve America's interests or the Cuban people to try to push Cuba toward collapse.
Right. Yeah, we can't be doing I'm not talking to you to a country like Cuba that's 2 miles off our shores.
50 years and I'm still not talking to you.
Yeah. That's stupid foreign policy.
And Jennifer, you and I are girls, so we know how long we can give the silent treatment, but even that is a little much.
We can do more to affect change in Cuba by talking to them and showing them what, freedoms can do for a country.
Open up the internet now in Cuba. That's part of the agreement.
Exactly.
So they're going to have access to things they didn't have before. I just hope any Americans who do travel there, please do not turn Havana into Cancun, where you get drunk and you puke in the streets, because that's going to
Yes, please, don't be ugly Americans now, please.
Well, yeah.
Jennifer, that's the thing. The good thing about even girls who are good at the silent treatment, when you get older, after 50 years, you're like, I don't remember why I'm not talking to you. I don't remember why I'm not talking to you, so I'm going to talk to you.
Exactly.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. Good perspective. Expat in London.
That's right.
Check out our audience.
Hooray!
We do have the smartest kids in class.
We do. Mm-hmm. And I hear Cuban cigars are very good.
Oh, yes. Ask Monica. Okay. That's an old joke. Yikes.
I really don't think that was a Cuban cigar, though. No. That kind of would have been illegal at the time.
Yeah. Oh, the president would never have done that. Okay. Because that would have been immoral.
There's a difference between immoral and illegal.
Been wrong to stick a Cuban cigar.
There's a difference between illegal and immoral, Stephanie.
Okay,
Lord.
45 minutes after the hour. This hour. Hello, Free Speech TV land. Why, it's noted journalist Mei Lee to help us with our Free Speech TV fund drive. Hello. Particularly, Chris, you and I, not fans of the prank humor generally.
No, we're not.
This is funny.
It is. I love it.
For only a $60 tax-deductible donation to Free Speech TV, we will send this actual coal to the actual Koch brothers.
We're being impish.
Oh, my God, that's funny. I love it.
Because they've clearly been naughty.
Yes, they have.
And all the Coke suckers that suck off the Coke teats. is what I'm saying.
Oh my God, they deserve truckloads of this.
That's right.
Yes.
It's a way to stand up for your network, Free Speech TV, and the lack of corporate influence and corporate Koch brothers money that is ruining our country.
Amen.
Ooh, it feels good. Look at that.
Yes, it's substantial.
It's like real